For most of the modern world, Nokia wasn't just a phone company. It was the phone company. Before Silicon Valley ruled our pockets, before Apple became a trillion-dollar empire, before Samsung flooded the market, there was Nokia, a company so dominant, so deeply embedded in daily life, that imagining its collapse felt impossible. But Nokia's story doesn't begin in Silicon Valley. It begins in Finland in the 19th century. Nokia started as a paper mill, then rubber boots, then cables. For decades, it reinvented itself quietly, methodically, until one decision changed everything: mobile phones. By the 1990s, Nokia had become Europe's great tech hope. Not flashy, not arrogant, just relentlessly efficient. While competitors fought over features, Nokia focused on reliability, battery life, and global reach. And the strategy worked. By the early 2000s, Nokia controlled over 40% of the global mobile phone market. Let that sink in. Nearly 1 out of every 2 phones on Earth was a Nokia. The Nokia 3310 became indestructible folklore. Snake became the most played game in human history. Nokia phones worked everywhere: deserts, villages, skyscrapers. To consumers, Nokia was unkillable. To investors, it was untouchable. To employees, it was destiny. Inside Nokia headquarters, there was a belief, unspoken but deeply felt: Nokia could not fail. And that belief would become its greatest weakness. Act 2. The Warning Signs. January 2007. A man in a black turtleneck steps onto a stage in San Francisco. In his hand is not just a phone, it's a threat. Steve Jobs unveils the iPhone. No keyboard, no stylus, a full touchscreen. To the audience, it feels revolutionary. Inside Nokia, it feels irrelevant. Executives reportedly dismissed it as a toy, too expensive, too fragile, too niche. Who would want a phone without buttons? Nokia already had smartphones. They already dominated carriers. They already shipped hundreds of millions of devices. Why panic? But while Nokia underestimated the iPhone, something far more dangerous was happening internally. Its operating system, Symbian, was collapsing under its own weight. Symbian had been built for a world of buttons and menus. Touchscreens exposed its weaknesses instantly. Updating it was slow, fragmented, painfully bureaucratic. Engineers knew it. Middle managers knew it. But leadership hesitated, because changing Symbian meant admitting Nokia was wrong, and Nokia wasn't used to being wrong. Between 2007 and 2010, Nokia lost something far more valuable than market share. It lost time. While Apple refined iOS, while Google unleashed Android, Nokia argued internally. Committees debated. Roadmaps stalled. Innovation slowed. Arrogance didn't kill Nokia overnight. Delay did. Act 3. The Fatal Decision. 2010. Reality could no longer be ignored. Nokia was falling behind, fast. Enter Stephen Elop. A former Microsoft executive, Elop became Nokia's first non-Finnish CEO. And shortly after taking power, he delivered one of the most infamous corporate memos ever written: the burning platform. Elop compared Nokia to a man standing on an oil platform engulfed in flames. Stay and burn alive. Jump and risk everything. The message was clear. Nokia needed radical change. And then came the decision. a decision that would seal Nokia's fate. Nokia had two paths: Android, open, fast-growing, and already winning developers, or Windows Phone, unproven, late, and controlled by Microsoft. Against internal warnings, against developer sentiment, against market momentum, Nokia chose Windows Phone. In one move, Nokia abandoned its own platform, rejected Android, and tied its future to Microsoft. Consumers were confused. Developers walked away. Carriers hesitated. Even worse, the announcement itself killed Nokia's existing sales. Why buy a Symbian phone when Nokia just admitted it was dead? The burning platform speech didn't save Nokia. It pushed it into the fire faster. Act 4. The rapid decline. The Windows Phone era began with hope. The Lumia phones were beautifully designed, fast cameras, bold colors. But beauty couldn't hide reality. There were no apps, no Instagram, no Snapchat, no ecosystem. Consumers didn't want potential, they wanted compatibility. Apple had loyalty, Samsung had the Android scale, Nokia had excuses. Market share collapsed from 40% to single digits in just a few years. Once dominant factories shut down, engineers were laid off, entire divisions disappeared. And then 2013, the unthinkable. Nokia sold its mobile phone division to Microsoft for a fraction of its former value. At the farewell event, Stephen Elop stood on stage, and he cried. "We didn't do anything wrong," he said, but history would disagree. Act 5. The legacy. Nokia didn't die because it lacked talent. It didn't die because it lacked money. It died because it believed its past success guaranteed its future. It mistook dominance for permanence, leadership for certainty, size for safety. The collapse of Nokia isn't just a tech story, it's a warning. In technology, arrogance is fatal. In innovation, hesitation is death. And no matter how big you are, you're only one bad decision away from disappearing. Nokia still exists today, but the Nokia that once ruled the world, that company died the day it stopped listening, the day it chose comfort over courage, the day it jumped from the burning platform straight into history. End.